All right, we are going to go over the FHA/VA addendum to the real estate purchase contract. Should be pretty quick, but thorough. So over here in the forms section, as we've done in the past, you'll be able to find it right here. Oftentimes, you can find things by searching them and save yourself time. So that is the case with this. They used to have a similar form. You want to make sure you use this one. It's the FHA loan addendum to the real estate purchase contract. So as with any of the other forms, I recommend auto-populating using the MLS number. It just saves you time. Autofills, update, and that will put the address in there for you. So obviously, depending on if there's other addenda, you're going to number it. Put the date of the offer reference date. So I guess this is important. If you add this later on, maybe your clients were going conventional and then they switched to FHA. It's important to put the offer reference date here, not the date that you're filling out the form, in case it's different. So again, put your clients' names here and then the seller's name here. So over here, you have to say if the buyer intends to occupy the property or not. This is a good opportunity for me to do a quick plug for avoiding mortgage fraud. Make sure your client's honest about this. Don't help somebody if they're just trying to get a better rate and they're just going to send their mail there or live there for a few months or sleep there. Make sure you're being honest in this. If they do intend to live in the property, then you hit that. If they don't, make sure you say does not intend to occupy the property. So moving down, make sure you read that and understand that. As always, I recommend you read through this form 2 or 3 times a year. Just make sure you're on top of it and you continue to understand the forms. But here's the seller shall make any and all appraisal required repairs, provided that the cost does not exceed. So when you're representing the buyer, you want to take into account, are there multiple offers? Is there a lot of stuff that needs to be done on the property? Because there's no point in putting $4,000 here if there's really no FHA required repairs that are noticeable. So make sure you're reasonable with this, but also you want to protect your buyer. So a common number I'll see here is about $1,500. That will cover any broken windows, missing railings, some of the stuff that FHA might flag. So moving on down here, this talks about the costs of obtaining the loan, so the closing costs. And you can either check one of the two, the seller shall not contribute to closing costs, or you can check how much they will contribute. So in this case, we'll just say you talk to the lender and they say all you need is $5,000 to closing costs and you should be good. Put that right here, and that way you won't have to do a separate addendum to state that the seller's paying those closing costs. It's a really simple form. Again, it's essential that you have it, but it's pretty easy to fill out. After that, you'll do the acceptance deadline. Again, it's not a response deadline. If they're counteroffering, then this deadline does not apply anymore. But it is an acceptance deadline. As I've said in the past, it's polite to give 24 hours, but you can put in there whatever makes sense to you and your buyer. And you're pretty much done. It's filled out, it's ready to submit. But there is one more thing I wanted to mention about this addendum. It is essential that if you know your client is going to get an FHA loan or they are likely to get an FHA loan, that you submit this with the offer when you start out. There are going to be a lot of upset sellers and other agents if they see that you purposely misled them or told them if it was conventional just to get ahead of the other offers, but it was really FHA. Down the road, if you decide to change it to an FHA loan, they are going to have to sign this, and they have as the seller, they have every right not to sign this. So you want to get it signed up front for your own sake, but also just as a ethical practice, always disclose that it's an FHA loan. And again, just to remind you, help your buyers avoid mortgage fraud. Make sure they check this box correctly. If they're planning on living there, you check this one. If they're not, you check this one. All right, good luck out there.